yeah. So let's just say. So let's just say it's yeah. Great. I know that you're like, yeah, but well, right. Because I wanted to put him down here, but basically, right. And was that an example? Does it work from like does it still work? Do you feel this is what we if I go and the same thing? Or does it have to be true? You know what? Even if you were willing to be sarcastic and ironic, I think you should still act as though it was personal, or believe that you just kind of hate stuff. Yeah. So let's just say. So let's just say it was yeah. Great.
This is the story of a man named Stan. The story of a man named Stan.
Was that an example? Does it work from
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do,
this way too.
Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Thanks, man. I only just realized that my stream mic wasn't on.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
So apparently this is the edition of the game I got.
Say initial impressions
Ultra
of Stanley
Deluxe.
Parable Ultra Deluxe. Mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle. Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait, there's more. Very good. Yes.
Let's see.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's
See what this new content
I'm ready for
is.
whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying
That's
the new
it?
content.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What
Oh, I
quality
think it's
assurance
actually
department
true.
signed
Let me
off on
check
this?
that.
I'm infuriated and I'm
Yeah, it
offended,
says
and
test
I
true.
intend to
Test
find
true.
these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault,
Twitter.
Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Well, I don't see any other way out of here.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here!
Okay.
In the vent! I want to show you something!
What do you want to show me, man?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable? And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph
Don't read any reviews except this one.
10 out of 10,
10 out of 10.
from Destructoid.com. James
Thanks,
Stephanie
journalism.
Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing.
They ruined it with the remake.
It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Hallelujah. Go up or down? Stay up there for now.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved... These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the Memory Zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh, no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
Oh, shit.
I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
Oh,
tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
A skip button.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start
I'm
to
liking
go
the
off on a
skip button.
faultless display of self-absorption. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That
No,
last one,
that's fine.
well,
That's fine.
I want to say maybe 30, 45... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
12
You've just
hours,
been
bro.
frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back.
It's
oh, my
dark.
goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
A week? Nah, you'll be fine, man.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about...
He's not even here anymore, bro. He doesn't want it. Skip again. Is that my PlayStation?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed.
He's going insane. I mean, I just went insane in one of the endings for the game. I got trapped.
Is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
He's lost it, bro.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never...
How many times can we click the skip button? Oh my god. This room is falling into ruin. It's falling apart. I wonder how long has passed since the last skip button. That's unsettling. Even the floor's kind of green now. Let's keep going. Looks the same. Whoa. Fuck. Are we free? Is this freedom? Where is everything? Like a mirage? Yeah, it doesn't look like we're getting any closer. I think it's a mirage. The end is never the end, is never the end. It's loading.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
I didn't see him.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What if I go through the same thing again? I want to see what happens.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Is it just the same as before?
Disbelief,
I think.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss.
Yeah. Okay. It's pretty much the same thing, I think.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I wonder if he remembers, like, the last time what happened to him. How I just left him. That wasn't there before, was it? Has it changed? Okay, it's going through all the other stuff, yeah.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
What?
Yes, you see,
So the
isn't this
showcase.
far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing
We at the premiere?
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts,
On the red carpet.
surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Collectibles. Free, new plus easy trophy. They're appealing to trophy hunters.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Wow. 1 out of 6. Yay.
God, it really
I
is
love
the worst when you collect
collectibles.
everything in a video game, and then they give you a big fat... Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? Oh, goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
Alright, wait a minute. I don't
No?
want to see a bucket.
You're just going to ignore my advice? Fine. No fun new content for you, then. You're the one who's... So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it
Yep.
is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Ooh. Is that it? What?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's
Fair.
sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different
I have
arrangement.
Minecraft build bigger than that.
Yes. This is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
Oh my God.
Of course, with respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
Please no.
Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising
Stanley Parable.
conviction, this is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Wow. Really? We're playing the Stanley Parable 2? Inside the Stanley Parable 1? That's really cool. Okay, let's see. Oh.
All of his co-workers were
It's
gone.
the same game.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, well,
When Stanley came to a
Let's
set
see.
of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
let's see what's different, huh?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley
It's the
decided to
same
go up to
game.
his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. You found one of them. One of the miniature
Yummy.
Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of
No
these.
trophy
Only
for
the
6
intrinsic
collectibles.
pleasure of a job
They
well
don't
done.
exist.
You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows
What
I
a
tried.
great game.
So, I implore you to savor each and
And he's
every
outright
moment
telling
you
us
come
there's no
across one of
reward
these
for it.
beautiful figurines.
Let's try and find the rest of them. So, I'm guessing you can only collect them in the Stanley Parable 2 variant. 'Cause I don't think that was there before. Oh, I can.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This,
Is that supposed to be me?
There really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay. Stanley. Now what? In here, I guess? Kind of scared if the door locks behind me, but
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
You actually need to go down this lift as well. We're going to do that a bit later. So when you go down the lift first,
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Okay. I'll just begin it again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No. I went somewhere wrong?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
The passageway this time. The collectible.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
I can't wait.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I'm not going in there.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What? Really?
Yeah.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why?
Bro, we went
I don't know
insane
how to
when we
convince
followed
you
your
of this,
directions.
but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me... And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley.
The Stiggly Wiggly.
This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it.
We got all
So many
6
people expect to
collectibles.
be rewarded for the most trivial achievements. You've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell
All
you were
done?
doing before you hunted for
Are we all
figurines.
done?
Trophy. So I should have got this in over the end. Like I say, I start the game at
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort.
Wow.
A measly 5 clicks.
It said knock the door 5 times, you get the trophy.
I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause.
Give me my damn
Perhaps
trophy.
50 clicks will do it. Yes,
50
almost
clicks.
certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. Got it.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things.
What?
It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Wait, can we... Oh, back here. Does he remember what we did here? How we just kept skipping? Kind of spooky.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
The second one.
And here was a second Stanlerine. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini-stand? Can you remember? Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Third time doing everything.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a figly in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened. This was the 5th mini-stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Bro. What is this, some like 2011 YouTube montage? What is this? The bidding stand, number 5. You must have really liked this one. Is that my gameplay? Found it near the cargo lift. Thanks for watching. Credits directed by narrator, edited narrator, music narrator, produced narrator, best boy narrator, starring Stanley. See the narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Jesus.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like. And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Oh.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Okay.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yes, I remember the video. Oh my god.
Yes, I love that video. Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Why did I hear like a door open or something?
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
The stairs?
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes,
The
I
bomb.
remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this? Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office.
It's kind of different type of your office.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Recorded footage on the screen. So yes, wait until you zoom
Yes,
into it.
I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what?
You're not
Since we're
surviving
looking at the
alone,
memories,
Mr.
though, how
Narrator.
about one
No
more
one
good
can.
memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Yeah. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. So I think we should have the epilogue unlocked, yes.
I make it count for saying this, but what's the emotional weight that you carry every single day?
The Stanley Parable too.
It's just quit the menu from the screen, and an epilogue should be available. So to unlock the epilogue, you have to do them steps in the game, which is basically where you go through all the new game content, and you also have to trigger
Many years later.
But we did that at the very start of the game, if you remember. And now, when you begin the epilogue, you get through this, and making sure the test trophy is available.
I'm back here again.
Get through the epilogue, guys, and I'll come back in just before the end of this.
But there's nothing behind me this time. Let's keep wondering. So far, it's the only ending where we're like free of the narrator. You can't hear him anymore. In the middle of the desert. Fire nice and toasty. Whoa. Sandstorm? The chairs. Look, it's the office. It's where it used to be. Now I'm free. The water though. Sunrise. I wonder if the narrator is still here in his misery, contemplating over the Stanlerines and Stanley Parable 2. How the end is never the end. Because that is the last thing we heard him saying. A blog. Who the fuck do blogs anymore? No more spin-offs. No more sequels. Stanley Parable's developed. If you say so. This is why I go. Ooh, the stars. The Stanlerines.
So this step, guys, is very, very important. So at the end of the epilogue, you get some dialogue again. I guess a developer talking to you or somebody. But yeah, eventually he's going to ask you if you want to change the name of the game every time you boot the game up. You need to make sure you choose yes. Very, very important. If you choose no, it will not fix the trophy machine for you. Yes, I know trophy machine, you might have Well, you wouldn't have. If you follow my advice, you've not done any extra exploits, so you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But basically, in the new content, the cycle machine is supposed to be trophy was broken. You have to do all this in order to fix it. But like I say, when he asks, you want to change the name of the game. But basically, in the new content, the cycle machine is supposed to
Stanley Parable 3. The end is never the zone.
be trophy was broken. You have to do all this in order to fix it. But like I say, when he asks, you want to change the name of the game. We boot the game back up in the future. Choose yes. Let's do it. You'll see in a second, and here it is. So choose let's do it. If you choose don't do it, then he'll not fix the trophy machine for you, and all that will mean is you've got to do the end block again.
A new sequel every time you start the game.
So yes, choose let's do it. It will tell you that he's fixed the trophy machine. There you go.
Fix the broken trophy, yeah.
So now you can run up to it a bit later and pull the lever to get a trophy. But what we're going to do next is we're going to do the actual complete the game trophy, because it takes off 4.5 minutes minimum. But if you practice this, you can hopefully do a speedrun trophy at the same time. If you don't worry. I mean, I'm going to do a speedrun and complete game at the same time here, because it saves you 4 minutes 30 if you can. If you don't worry. I mean, I'm going to do a speedrun and complete game at the same time here, because it saves you 4 minutes 30.
What is that?
But if not, just complete a game and then just keep practicing the speedrun, guys, until you get it. You don't have to do them together.
This is the story of a man.
If you want to get fastest time on the leaderboard, it will save 4 minutes if you can do them together.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I just mean if you want to get fastest time on the leaderboard, it will save 4 minutes if you can do them.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Office, and we're going to go through a secret passage, and then we're going to go down the elevator.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Shortly after, we're going to begin the game again. Now, when you approach the secret wall this time, you'll see it open a little bit quicker.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
You're going to have to pause for a few seconds. Yeah, so come for the secret passage, go left into this elevator. Keep spamming the button, guys. That's it, keep spamming the button, like so.
The time checking account in 2 minutes, and we'll spy you up to $200.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Now, we're going to be doing this for real.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Just head over here, guys, and choose to begin the game. Now, we're going to be doing this for real. So, I'm doing the speedrun trophy and complete a game. But you don't need to, guys, just follow.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Just head over here, guys. I'm going to choose to begin the game. Now, we're going to be doing this for real. So, I'm doing the speedrun trophy and complete a game. But you don't need to, guys. Just follow me here. If you get speedrun, great. If not, just keep practicing this route. So, you're going to keep choosing to begin the game again until we spawn in a blue room or corridor.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
What?
Each bore the number
Fired.
of an employee in the
Great,
building,
I wonder.
Stanley's co-workers.
that my
The
room?
lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Straight away. Sometimes it takes a moment to find a way. Begin the game again. Run forward a few steps.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
So when you come back in the elevator later, you can skip. This will be skipped. So it's going to save you about 5 seconds or so. 5 or 10 seconds probably. So what I'm going to do now, when we leave the elevator, I'm going to head into the mind control facility just to make sure this has taken effect. So just skip it later. Yeah, just head over here, guys. I'm going to choose to begin the game. Now, we're going to be doing this for real. So I'm doing the speedrun trophy and complete game, but you don't need to, guys. Just follow me here. If you get speedrun, great. If not, just keep practicing the screen. So you're going to keep choosing to begin the game again until we spawn in the blue room or the corridor just before the main room with 2 doors. So yeah, just